This show has allowed all kinds of people to come on. People we agree with, people we don't agree with. I've not been a fan of this man's. I don't like how he talks to us. I don't like how he talks to the nation.
You are not gonna believe what just happened to Whoopi Goldberg. Like, this isn't some internet rumor or a bad tweet that got out of hand. We're talking lawsuits, courtroom drama, actual tears, and Elon Musk being dead serious about shutting her down. I know. Whoopi's been in the game for decades. She's joked about everything and survived way worse headlines. But this time, she messed with the wrong person. Elon Musk didn't just clap back. He unleashed his legal army, and what they hit her with? Bro, it shook Hollywood.
Yesterday, Elon Musk took his son X to a press conference. I did not name the child. And I don't want to hear any more mess about our names, okay?
And here's the crazy part. It all started with one tiny joke, one line, on live TV, and now, her career might literally never recover. So buckle up, because this isn't just about a joke gone wrong. This is about power, pride, and the moment everything flipped for one of TV's biggest voices.
This is not something I'd recommend, frankly. Yeah. I don't know what else to say, but it is, and I'm just looking at this video and it's so bizarre.
Let's get into it. It all started like any other episode of The View. The ladies chatting, throwing around hot takes, laughing at the usual weird celebrity baby names. You know, nothing out of the ordinary. But then, Whoopi opened her mouth, and everything shifted. They brought up Elon Musk's son, you know, the one with the name that looks like a Wi-Fi password. And Whoopi, without skipping a beat, cracked a joke. She goes, "I did not name the child, and I don't want to hear any more mess about our names."
All the sort of federal money going to media companies is what helps explain why the legacy media all says the same thing at the same time.
Now Whoopi saw the backlash and didn't seem too bothered. She even laughed it off.
Just like that. Quick, casual, not even that harsh, honestly. But the internet? Oh, it did not find it funny. Within hours, that tiny clip spread like wildfire. Twitter, Reddit, TikTok, everywhere. And the comments? Brutal. People were calling her out for mocking a child. Some said she was punching down, others said she should be sued into oblivion. One person even wrote, "Attacking a 4-year-old shows she's less mature than a toddler." Yeah, that escalated fast. But this wasn't just social media doing its usual thing. Because watching all this unfold was Elon Musk. And what he did next? That's when things went from celebrity moment to full-blown crisis.
If somebody's gonna try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money, go f yourself.
Now, look, most celebrities would just ignore a comment like that, right? Maybe post a cryptic tweet or something shady on Instagram. But Elon? Nah, he's built different. The moment he saw the clip, dude went straight into revenge mode. First, he fired off a tweet calling Whoopi disgusting for dragging his son into a punchline. And that tweet blew up. Millions of views, thousands of retweets. Suddenly, this wasn't just a TV moment anymore. This was front-page drama, and the vibe shifted real quick. What started as a joke turned into a war.
You know, when you're a certain age, you use words that you know from when you were a kid or you remember saying, and that's what I did today, and I shouldn't have. I should have thought about it a little longer before I said it, but I didn't.
Now, Whoopi...
Elon's fans jumped in, defending him hard, dragging Whoopi through the mud. The media picked it up, headlines everywhere. Elon Musk slams Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi sparks outrage over child joke, and it just kept building. Meanwhile, Whoopi, she was still brushing it off, acting like it was no big deal. She even laughed about it on the next episode of The View, saying something like, "Y'all are too sensitive. I was just confused about the name." But Elon wasn't laughing. In fact, while she was cracking jokes, he was already on the phone with his lawyers. And if you know anything about Elon Musk, that's when you really start sweating. Because the moment his legal team gets involved, it's game over for most people.
ABC News President Kim Godwin saying in a statement, "Effective immediately, I am suspending Whoopi Goldberg for 2 weeks for her wrong and hurtful comments. While Whoopi has apologized, I've asked her to take time to reflect and learn about the impact of her comments."
Now,
Behind the scenes, Elon wasn't just mad, he was strategic. He wasn't tweeting into the void or just venting online. Nah, he was moving quiet. And fast. Sources close to him started whispering that he was asking his legal team if Whoopi's joke could be considered defamation or even harassment. And listen, Elon doesn't hire your everyday lawyers. He's got killers on retainer. The type of legal squad that doesn't just defend. You call them when you want to destroy someone. And they were already building a case. Meanwhile, Whoopi had no idea what was coming. She thought the storm would pass. Just like all the other media blow-ups she's survived over the years. She's been through scandals, online beefs, even suspensions before, so she figured this would blow over too. But Elon's team was already in full attack mode. They started combing through the footage, collecting receipts, and drafting legal documents.
You know what? X is an adorable name, and perhaps a grown woman who named herself Whoopi should refrain from mocking a 4-year-old for the name his parents gave him. Yes, Whoopi picked that name for herself. She's actually Karen Elaine Johnson.
Rumors started swirling that a lawsuit was officially being prepared, and not just for PR. This was the real deal. By the time it hit the press, it was already too late for Whoopi to walk it back. The headlines weren't speculating anymore. They were reporting. Elon Musk was suing Whoopi Goldberg. And suddenly, everything changed. At first, Whoopi still wasn't taking it seriously. She thought Elon was just flexing online, throwing legal threats around to scare her. After all, she's Whoopi Goldberg. She's faced criticism before and walked out untouched. So the day after the news broke, she tried to smooth things over on The View. This time the tone changed. No jokes, no laughs. She looked straight into the camera and said something like, "I wasn't trying to mock the child. I was just confused about the name. That's all." But the damage was already done. People weren't buying the just a joke defense anymore. They saw the clip. They saw her laughing, and they saw the storm that followed. The apology? It felt too little. Too late, especially to Elon. And the worst part? His legal team wasn't backing down. While Whoopi was trying to calm things on air, Elon's lawyers were finalizing the lawsuit. Full-on defamation and harassment charges, not some cease and desist letter. A real court case. And because this was coming from one of the richest, most powerful men in the world, you knew it wasn't just for show. The media caught wind fast. News outlets ran with it. Talk shows picked it apart. And by now, Whoopi knew. This wasn't just about her making fun of a baby name. This was about her career, her reputation. Everything she'd built over decades was suddenly on the line, all because of one joke. And then, it happened. Elon's legal team officially filed the lawsuit, and boom, it was everywhere. Front page headlines, breaking news alerts, legal analysts scrambling to cover it. The charges? Defamation and targeted harassment? The target? Whoopi Goldberg. And this wasn't some empty threat to send a message. Elon came with receipts. The clip. The public backlash. The media frenzy. His lawyers argued that Whoopi used her platform to humiliate a child, and that the damage wasn't just emotional, it was global. Millions of people saw it. Millions more reacted. And according to Elon's team, it was reckless, cruel, and malicious. When Whoopi walked into that courtroom, she looked like she'd seen a ghost. No cameras, no glam squad, just her and the weight of what was about to hit. The judge didn't waste time either. From the jump, they made it clear. Mocking a child, especially on national television, wasn't going to be brushed aside. And once the case details were laid out, the energy in that courtroom shifted. This wasn't just a slap on the wrist type of situation. People watching said you could feel the tension in the room. Whoopi tried to explain herself one more time. She said, "I never meant to offend anyone. It was just a joke, that's all." But the judge wasn't having it. And then came the bombshell. 2 years of probation, a massive fine, and, maybe the hardest hit of all, a court-ordered public apology to Elon and his son. This wasn't just about justice, it was about humiliation, a message. Elon made it loud and clear. Mess with his family, and you pay the price. When that sentence dropped, 2 full years of probation, a public apology, and a fine in the millions, Whoopi's face said it all. She was shocked, like genuinely blindsided. You could tell she thought this would be a slap on the wrist, maybe some bad press, a short suspension, then back to business as usual. But nope, not this time. She stood there in the courtroom, completely still, and then the tears started. Actual, real tears. Not for show, not for sympathy, just raw emotion. Because that moment, it hit her. This wasn't just a joke that went too far. This was career damage. The kind that doesn't just go away in a news cycle. And if that wasn't enough, the judge made her deliver a public apology. Not some half-hearted, one-liner kind of thing. We're talking full statement. in front of cameras, in front of the world. She had to admit what she did, why it was wrong, and apologize directly to Elon and his son. And man, you could see the discomfort all over her face. This wasn't the strong, sharp Whoopi we usually see on The View. This was someone completely cornered, stripped down, humiliated. Then came the photos. Paparazzi swarmed her as she left the courthouse. Pictures of her looking drained, head down, barely keeping it together. Headlines exploded again. Whoopi breaks down after verdict. Goldberg faces career crisis. And just like that, her legacy was hanging by a thread. And trust, this wasn't just a hit to her image. This was the kind of moment that changes everything. If you thought the courtroom drama was bad, what happened after might have been even worse. Because the moment that verdict went public, ABC went into full panic mode. Executives were scrambling. Sponsors already pulling out. Major brands started calling in, saying they didn't want their name anywhere near the words Elon Musk and child harassment in the same sentence. And let's be real, when advertisers start dropping out, networks listen. Behind the scenes, there were emergency meetings. ABC trying to figure out how to clean up the mess without looking like they were throwing Whoopi under the bus. But the pressure was insane. Elon's legal team was reportedly still applying heat, filing additional complaints, and the headlines just kept dragging the network into the fire. Even The View started feeling different. Joy Behar, dead silent. Normally, she rides for Whoopi no matter what. But this time, no jokes, no defense, not even a side glance. The energy was off. Like even her co-hosts didn't want to get caught in the blast radius. And it got worse, way worse. There were rumors flying that ABC was actively reviewing Whoopi's contract, trying to find out if they had any legal ground to suspend or even terminate her if things kept spiraling. Some insiders claimed they were already looking at potential replacements just in case the backlash didn't die down. At that point, it was bigger than Whoopi. It wasn't just about a joke anymore. It was a full-blown network crisis. And no one wanted to be the one who got caught standing next to the wreckage. At this point, the question isn't just what happened, it's whether Whoopi Goldberg can ever bounce back from this. Because this isn't some Twitter spat. This is Elon Musk, a billionaire with global influence, coming down hard and showing that no one gets a free pass when it comes to his family. And Whoopi? She's not just dealing with public backlash, she's facing legal punishment, financial loss, corporate silence, and a whole lot of people pretending they were never on her side to begin with. Fans are split. Some say the punishment was too harsh, that it was just a joke and people are too sensitive. But others, they're not letting it go. They're dragging her online, calling her a bully, a hypocrite, even questioning how she still has a job on national TV. And then there's ABC, still holding crisis meetings, still trying to decide whether keeping her is worth the heat. There are whispers that her future on The View might already be over. They're just waiting for the right moment to make it official. But here's what makes this whole thing so wild. Whoopi's not new to controversy. She's weathered storms before. She's been suspended, canceled, dragged, and still came back swinging. So now we've got to ask, is this the one she can't walk away from? Or is Whoopi about to pull off the comeback of the decade? Let us know what you think in the comments and hit that follow, because if this saga's not over yet, you know we'll be the first to spill every detail.